certificate of ma'am designation. So, ma'am name is Shrimati Neha Sharma. Ma'am, you are a senior civil judge, additional chief judicial magistrate. You are born in the family of Shri Adish Sharma and Shrimati Usha Sharma on 15 December 1984 at Delhi. You did schooling from the AV Public School, Shrestha Bihar, Delhi, and you completed a BLLB honors and LLM specialization in intellectual property rights from Schools of Law and Legal Studies, Guru Gobind Singh Indira Rashtrakuta University. You did PG Diploma in Humanitarian and Refugee Law from Indian Society of International Law, New Delhi, and PG Diploma in Judging and Court Management from National Law University, Delhi. You also qualified UGC, JRF Law and Award and UGC NET Law in October 2010. You have enrolled as an advocate in the Bar Council of Delhi in 2010 and worked as a management trainee legal and thereafter as executive officer legal Institute Chartered Accountant of India, set up by an Act of Parliament, New Delhi. You have joined Himachal Pradesh Judicial Service on the 28th January 2011 as a civil judge, Unit Division, cum Judicial Magistrate after qualifying HP Judicial Service Examination in 2010. And you had the distinction of standing first in the said examination. You've assumed charge of Civil Judge Junior Division, cum Judicial Magistrate, Court number 4 in District Court Una on the 4th of August 2011, and you have remained posted as such at Shimla and Joginder Nagar also. You've got promoted as Civil Judge Senior Division, cum Additional Chief Judicial Magistrate on the 27th November 2018, and you have placed at the disposal of the state government for being posted as Additional Secretary Law to the Government of Himachal Pradesh. Subsequently, you have transferred and posted as officer on special duty in the High Court of Himachal Pradesh. Thereafter, you have transferred and posted as Secretary, District Legal Service Authority, Chamba, and you joined as such on the 5th of January 2019. Ma'am, you have joined as Senior Civil Judge, cum Additional Chief Judicial Magistrate, Court number 1, Kasoli District, Solan, on the 31st of May in 2029. And now, ma'am, you have transferred, joined as a Senior Civil Judge, cum Additional Chief Judicial Magistrate, Court number 1 in Gurmaville on the 10th of December 2021. Ma'am, on behalf of the AP Goel Shimla University School of Legal Studies and Research family, we would like to extend our heartfelt gratitude towards you for sharing with us the deep meaning of the legal aid service. And you have also mentioned many provisions that deals with the legal aid service, and you have mentioned the sorts of legal aid service that the authority has provided, such as the court fees, the lawyers, and then drafting fees and extra. You have shared your valuable knowledge with us regarding the practical field that you have experienced in the free legal aid service. We shall always be grateful to you, and it will be a great opportunity for us, the law students, to associate along with you as assistant. Thank you so much, ma'am, and have a good day.
Dr. Bhavna Verma, HOD Law, and all the faculty members of School of Law and Legal Studies. First of all, I am really overwhelmed and much delighted to be present here with you all and given an opportunity by Honorable Ma'am to talk about certain topics regarding legal aid and also associated topics with your legal care clinic, which has been formed in your prestigious institution. Now, whenever we come to this term, what is legal aid? What is the meaning of legal aid? Legal is something associated with law, and aid is to help someone. That means we are requiring some sort of help. We need some people to whom we can provide some help in the arena of law. Now, as you all know, law is a quite diverse topic. There are so many laws, more than 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 laws in our country only, and nobody can be expected to, mug up and learn all the laws which are present. So how can we expect the common public to know all the law when we as legal people, we don't know what all the laws are? Every law requires different interpretation. Anytime there are words called shall, anytime we can see there are words called may or something. So a common person does not understand what goes on with the shall and what goes on with may. And there is where the job of a legal luminary comes into picture. So I don't call myself as one, I just call myself as a law student, because throughout life, in whatever field you are, if you have opted law as a career, you are always student. And there should be an ambition to learn things rather than going on into the perspective that we know everything. As I have already told you, law is something with which you evolve, because law is a changing thing. Law changes with the circumstances, with the society. Earlier the law was different. After coming into the communication technology, now the law is different. Because new terms, new Information Technology Act has been formed, although I have to say that it is a quite loosely drafted legislation, but still we are coming with some amendments upon it. But still I am saying law is something which is not constant. And life is something which is not constant. Change is the only thing which is constant. So we have to go up with the change. Now the change in the society requires that we have to provide certain legal aid to people. Why this legal aid is to be given to people? Because I have already told you, law is a bit technical procedure. There is a lot of technicalities involved. Even if you go on that we want to decide our disputes outside the legal courts, I would say the courts and all, still if you will opt for certain other procedures, for example the Arbitration and Conciliation Act you must be aware of, and the other procedures also, mediation, still there are certain technicalities which people might not know, and they require the services of a good lawyer. So there begins our job. First of all, as a lawyer, and if some of you may opt for the bench, then obviously judges, and in fact the common public, in fact the court staff, everybody needs to be sensitized with all these issues regarding the legal aid. So what all things come within the legal aid, and to whom will you provide the legal aid? This is a very important topic which we have to discuss today. Legal aid is something which is a quite sort of legal assistance in the form of, some consultation, in the form of some some question which has been asked by a particular person who might not know the law. So if he is asking you a particular question, who is a plaintiff, who is a defendant, this also comes within the thing of this legal aid. As law students, first of all, if you opt for a person, if you see a person does not know the law, then you will try and explain him the things. But most of the times people come to you and they expect that you know each and everything of law. So that is why this topic today is important, to tell you as to what is legal aid. Now, even in our constitution, because every law comes from the constitution, in our constitution also, in the Directive of Principles of State Policy, which have been given, we have a duty as a citizen also as a professional, to provide certain sort of help to people wherever it is required. Legal aid. Our entire department is working for this legal aid. I am from District Legal Service Authority, Shimla. I am working under the auspices of HPSLSA, that is Himachal Pradesh State Legal Authority. And there are 11 District Legal Service Authorities in Shimla only, which are working under the HPSLSA, and HPSLSA is working under the NALSA, which you must be aware of. So we are getting directions every day in and day out that we have to provide with certain vision. We have been provided certain vision that yes, in Himachal Pradesh, these are the things which are to be taken care of. For example, we are constantly visiting some of the ashrams. We are constantly visiting the universities also which are present in the Himachal Pradesh, and also the schools also, only in order to spread the awareness regarding the legal thing. Now, who all are required to be given legal aid? There is a category of around 10 people, 10 persons who have been given the legal aid. Now, what are these? These are the category which has been scheduled by the Constitution in the Scheduled Caste and Scheduled Tribes category. First category is this. Every person who belongs to this category is to be provided the legal aid, free legal aid, I would say. Now, second is the persons who are victims of Article 23. What is Article 23?
Hurry up.
बेगार जिसे हम बोलते हैं, है ना? तो people who are victims of this thing now, or any ill treatment by any person, then they also come within this category. Third, even if it is a woman or a child, women and child have been specifically given because they might not know how to go about it. Given the position that no doubt in India there has been a woman empowerment, but still somewhere or the other women are still facing problems wherever they want to voice their opinions about something. Then any mental patient. Have you seen MHR Baluganj? there is a mental care institute. There also there are people who might not know what is going on. As a law student, you must be knowing that there are certain lucid intervals of these people also, where they are fit and fine with their mental health, and maybe it lasts for 2 hours, 3 hours. If during that time they require any legal aid, then any legal care person should be present there. And I must tell you that we are fortunate enough that we have some lawyers from our panel in the District Legal Service Authority who are visiting the HHMHR Mental Care Institute every 3 days in case any of the mental care patient they require any sort of legal aid. Okay. Then there are people who are victims of some sort of industrial industrial labor. People who might be working in industries, they might also require some sort of legal aid, and free legal aid, I would say. They might not have that much of money in their hands that they can go and knock the doors of the court without the HPSLSA or District Legal Service Authority. Then there are persons who are being held up for certain offences. For example, they are coming to the court for the first time. They are not being legally represented by any lawyer. For example, a person is arrested. You must have learnt section 303 in the CRPC also. Now there is a new procedure code. But even in that, there is a provision that the court is duty bound to provide the legal aid. So those people also come into this category. Then there are transgenders. This is the actual category which really requires our notice. Why? Because till date they have not been provided any sort of help from the legal arena or any of the people. Why? Because this category has emerged latest in 10 years of gap. Because these people have voiced their opinion only in the period of 10 years. But weren't they in existence from before? They were. But as it goes, unless and until you ask for, you will not get anything. This is what happens. So now these people have been asking, now for filling any form under any government this thing or any other private, we have 3 columns, male, female and the transgenders. So you must see that what sort of, they have come up to this level now, that they have been recognized, they have been working in various sectors also. Now next week comes is that any person whose income is less than rupees 3 lakhs. This is a very good step, because even the people who are not self-sufficient in themselves, they have been given this opportunity that they can come to District Legal Service Authority by way of an application and they can apply for free legal aid. Then there are people who are suffering from HIV. So these are the categories wherein we provide free legal aid to people. They have to file an application either to the court or to the District Legal Service Authority that we require some sort of free legal aid, and we, after seeing what all the categories, in which category it falls, we provide them the legal aid after the approval of the chairman of the District Legal Service Authority. And this procedure is made as soon as possible, because even a second delay for a person who needs the legal assistance is very difficult for him to stay for. Because if a person finds himself involved in a legal situation, at that time, every night and every day, he keeps on thinking about it, that how I have to come out of it. So as soon as possible, we provide the legal aid. Now, what sort of legal aids are being provided? First is that we provide him a lawyer out of the state expenses, and the state pays for the fees of the lawyer. Second is that we provide them the court fees. There is a notification of the Himachal Pradesh government wherein any person who who cannot bear the court fees, he can be provided the court fees, obviously after looking into these categories and after the approval. Then there is when a petition is drafted, when it is typed, the expenses of typing also is covered by the state expenses. Then there is, that when a case is put up for the evidence, then the parties have to give the fees for summoning their witnesses. So the fees for summoning the witnesses, that is what we call in the normal parlance as taking steps. Steps for summoning the witnesses. Those steps are nothing, this providing some sort of fees to the court that these witnesses are to be asked to come to the court. So that fees is also given under the legal aid. Now there are other expenses which are involved in the case. For example, if a person wants to appoint a local commissioner The fees of the local commissioner is also to be given by the state. Now see the expansion of the legal aid. And it is nothing, it is just expansion of Article 21 of the Constitution, if you must see. Because Article 21 has, provided us with various things which were actually not worded, but still were found inherent in the Constitution. So then they can also ask for free legal aid. For example, a person visits our office. We have a front office. You must have, the students who must have visited on second Saturday to visit the Lok Adalat, you must have seen that there is a front office. In front office there is a person, there is a lawyer who is sitting there, and they provide free legal assistance to people. For example, a person comes and he says कि मेरी ज़मीन पर ज़बरदस्ती कब्जा हो रहा है, तो अब मेरे को क्या करना चाहिए? So if he comes, then the particular advocate who is sitting there, he provides him with the free legal assistance कि आप केस कर सकते हैं या आप बैठ के बातचीत कर सकते हैं. And on top of that, you can also provide for getting the demarcation done. Sometimes निशानदेही नहीं हुई होती है, तो उस टाइम पे लोगों को associate होती है. तो that जो lawyer वो जो बैठते हैं, then you can provide for legal assistance in every field, whatever is required. Okay. Then where you can get this legal assistance? First of all, as I have talked about, I am in district court. So in district courts, this legal assistance can be provided, irrespective of the court where the case has to be filed. Even in the court of learned district and session judge, the application can be made for providing the free legal aid. Even at the stage of the Honorable High Court, there also the application can be made to the HP State Legal Service Authority. There the application is made, and even the Honorable High Court has this department where the applications of the people are dealt with, and there are panel lawyers, those who have been authorized by way of for providing the free legal aid. Then even in this sub-divisional legal committees have been formed. Sub-divisional as in we are in district headquarters Shimla. There are various sub-divisional committees as well. For example, Jubbal, for example Chopal, for example Rodu. So all these are also working, and there is a chairperson, that is the principal magistrate who is present there. He is the chairman of the state sub-divisional legal service authority, and he is taking care of these applications, as I have briefed earlier, that the applications for providing of the free legal aid. Now the Himachal Pradesh State Legal Service Authority is working for the benefit of the people. But what I have seen is that the people who really require the assistance, they are not coming forward. So spreading the awareness and associating the law students is the only initiative which we have thought of, that if we involve you also in this job, then we want that many of the people who might be thinking that we have to get some free legal aid, or we want that someone to guide us, that if there is any encroachment upon their land or something of that sort, or even a lady who might not know what is a domestic violence, and she must be thinking that she is adjusting to the scenario which is occurring in the family, but she might not know that this is an example of domestic violence. So in such areas we want the assistance of the law students like you. We really want that bright students like you should come up with our cause and provide for the free legal aid to people. You are not going to provide the free legal aid, you are just going to check out the people who are really requiring it, and it would be really beneficial for us also if any of you would come forward with an application that this person wants to file an application. So we have shown the door of this District Legal Service Authority. So this was the free legal aid and legal aid care, and your clinic is also working. And as I have been guided by ma'am, I have seen that many activities have been taken up. In future, with the permission of ma'am, we want that volunteers from like you come forward for giving us assistance in the jails also. Any person who wants, on the first visit you might go and see what sort of assistance is to be given. And secondly, we will also be there to guide you as to how we have to talk. Because once you are visiting the jails, obviously it will be difficult to talk to the people there. But still, we will guide you as to how things have to be gone there. And then we have jail visiting lawyers also. Sorry, I missed this aspect. We have jail visiting lawyers. Now these lawyers, they visit the jails from 11 o'clock to 2 o'clock. They are supposed to be in jails. They look up in every week. There are 2-3 days. 3 days for one lawyer, 3 days for one lawyer, and they go and visit wherever any person requires any sort of legal assistance. For example, bail application is not filed on his behalf and he is being in jail for quite a while, then that application can be made. We have an under trial review committee also under the chairmanship of the learned chairman, District Legal Service Authority. Every 15 days that meeting takes place. We analyze the data which we receive from the jails and we see if any person is left that who has not been provided with any legal aid or he is not represented by a lawyer. So we try and do and we provide the lawyer there and then so that his cause can be represented before the court. So these are all the categories where we provide the legal aid. In case you people have any question, please do ask me.
You want to know something?
Anything you want to know?
If people do not come into that category, maybe let's say if we have the capacity to pay, okay ma'am, but what about the people, what about us who are not getting proper guidance from the lawyers itself? If we have opted for a lawyer and he is not guiding us properly, and even if we are turning into lawyers, what should be the steps for the common people to keep a check on the lawyers, ma'am?
Now, there might not be any check for me at least. We cannot as a, but we cannot just leave this responsibility aside. What I think is that in case any sort of this thing is done to you, this can be brought within the knowledge of the honorable judge who is sitting there. And if at all you speak one sentence, the judge gets the cue, yes, some problem is there and he can easily ask. So judges are also, you must have learned section 167 of the Indian Evidence Act. The courts have a proactive role. The courts have a proactive role and we cannot be just meek spectators that we are sitting and whatever is going in the court, we just have to.
We can object.
Yes. At least you speak.
Yes, ma'am.
Your lawyer might be saying telling you if you don't speak, the judge might get angry, but we really please, judges don't get angry because this is our job to do and this is what we are paid for. And now is not the scenario that now the judges are being called as representatives of gods. No, please, we are just professionals, we are doing our work and that is more important because we are not doing any free services to the society, we are getting paid for it. So this is our job, this is our duty. For example, this is our responsibility that we have to ensure that justice be done. I am also saying that I am not saying that if 100 cases are appearing before a judge, in 100 of cases he might be able to do justice, but at least in 50 cases or in 60 cases or in 10 cases also he is able to do justice. So I think his job is done for the day. But still this practice should keep on improving with days and times. We've been getting trainings also, the judges are getting trainings also, so that these aspects, as you have said, be looked. But one more thing you can say is that you can ask, the judge can always guide you that a necessary complaint can be made to the Bar Association also. This is the basic approach which can be done. Or if you have talked to the judge can also tell you that you can file for an application before the Bar Association president that things are not being taken care of. In many cases, sometimes it happens when we provide free legal aid, the lawyer is getting the salary from the state. I would call that a salary only. He is getting his fees from the state. But at times what happens is he is also asking for money from the person. So the whole idea is diminish them. We don't have anything else to do for. So this is why this check is very important. At times while working as a judge, I have been receiving applications like this. Even the applications from the lawyers also. That the people are not coming forward with the thing. We are constantly calling them that court is calling you. They are not appearing in the court. So it can be any ways, it can be any side. But as the problem you suggested, the only way is this, that a necessary complaint. And first thing you have to do is to bring it to the knowledge of the judge. That sir, I have not been guided. Judge will say that you change the lawyer. And if you fall in any of the 10 categories, then you can write an application that we want a lawyer from the free legal system.
Even if it's not free appointing of the lawyers, but can we even get guidance to how to approach few cases, ma'am? Even if what is right and what is
They
not,
wants to
ma'am?
know, can they get that people who are not in the category can they also get free legal assistance, not
That-
the aid?
No. That is what I am telling you. There is a front office.
Front office.
That is why I have spoken about the front office. The front office, in the front office, we have a lawyer sitting, one who is working under the District Legal Service Authority. We have a whole department. I must tell you that in Shimla there is one chief LADC. We call him Chief Legal Aid Defence Counsel. Then we have 2 deputy legal aid defence counsel, and there are 4 legal aid councils. So one of the legal aid councils would be sitting in that
Help desk.
So he might be able
Exception
to
only many of the district courts or even in the high court.
in the high court also.
There is a help desk where you will find somebody sitting to assist anyone. There you don't need the eligibility criteria because everybody doesn't know that they are eligible or they are not eligible. It is only you go ask for the assistance, then they give you assistance, and then they say if you are eligible, then they say tell you can also apply for legal aid.
And to add to what ma'am has said, that you can also ask him that in which law I have to file this complaint. For example, there are different laws, and if a person has involved you in a malicious litigation, so what you can do is you can file a case under tort. So he has to guide you that you can file a particular case, you can ask for damages also. So this is just an example, but this is what happens. And if at all you go and you say you might say because there is a person who has been arrested and he does not know his rights. So there and then an application will be filed and it will be forwarded to me. There and then the advocate has to be appointed to him because we cannot wait for something to happen. It might be possible that the court finds that he is not being represented and there is no life to just send him in the police remand. Although it does not happen here, but still we can take a hypothetical situation. So you see, legal aid is one of the very important right of an individual, and we cannot, we cannot just ignore this thing. This is something which really needs to be taken care of. Because there are not many people who are in jails. They might not know what is happening with us. So we have to be sensitized to this issue. That is why we've come here, and I've tried my best that you may be sensitized to this thing, so that if at all we require your assistance, then that can be provided well in time. So thank you so much. Thank you all of you.